Hello everybody, this is just a quick video to show you a slightly different way about working out how to get into overdrafts and how to work out negative numbers. So yesterday when we were working on this type of task, if we were working on, say, this task here, so someone started at £30 and they spent £50, what was their new balance? So we were really just thinking about it with an empty number line, and we were thinking, right, there's your 30 there. And you were thinking about, well, I could chunk that, so we were thinking, right, let's maybe chunk it into a 30 and a 20. So I could take my 30 off, which would take me down to 0, and then I could take my 20 off, which would take me down to minus 20. Now that's one way to do it, which is quite a handy way to do it, using number lines. You know I love a number line. But there are other ways you can do it too, and slightly quicker ways you can do it too actually. So, and one way is really using vertical calculations can help you a lot in this. So first thing we're going to do is have a look at this wee problem that I've made up again. So someone starts at £30, they spend £50, what do they end up at? So here's our £30 on this bit here. Anything below the 0, remember, is overdraft. So if they started there and I took a big £50, here's my big £50, and I put it there, let's just stick that on carefully, you'll see that we go away down to the minus 20 there, so a big chunk comes off there. But one thing you can do, actually everyone, is you can think about, instead of having to think, right, well, if I take 30 off and then I take another 20 off, that'll get me down to my minus 20. You could just be thinking about, what's the difference between these two numbers? So what is the difference between 50 and 30? And remember, when we're talking about finding the difference of something, we're talking about subtracting. So what you can do is just, what is 50 minus 30? And whatever that difference is how far that's going to go below 0. But just be careful, because when you do that, remember, you're still getting a positive number, but that's not what we want, because we're really thinking about what's 30 take away 50. But by switching the numbers around the opposite way, we can get that same difference below the 0 mark. So if you are doing that, make sure that you remember that the 20 that comes out is actually a minus 20, not just a 20. And with that in mind, let's just sort of forget this little graph over here, and let's make up a new quick problem. So let's say that someone starts,
let's say we start at, they've got £362 in the bank, and they spend, let's say, something more than that, let's say they spend £400.
So they're definitely going into their overdraft because that's higher than that number. So you could be thinking about your number line and subtracting it. That could take you a long time. What you could do instead is think about, what's the difference between these two numbers? So how much further will this 400 pull us below the 0? And the way you can do that is think about, what is that number subtracted from that number? So you could be doing a vertical calculation like this if you wanted to. Or you could just be using some sort of strategy that would help you add up to this, so that I know that 362, I could add on my 8 to get to 370, and then I could add on a 30 to get me up to 400. There's loads of ways you could work that out, but basically finding the difference between these two numbers will be the key today. So let's just do it really quickly using your vertical calculation. So I can't do that, so I'll need to come along here, make that a 10, take that off. So I've got an 8 here, a 3 here, and a 0 here. So remember again though, I've got 38 at the bottom here, but remember the answer is not 38 because we're going below 0, so it must be minus 38. And just to confirm, I've got a calculator here. Let's do the sum that is actually here. So say the person starts on 362, they spend 400, and our calculator should hopefully say minus 38, which it does. So that's another way to go about it that you might find a lot quicker. Hopefully that helps everyone. Good luck, let me know if I can help.